video 2 of week 3. And there is a student in the 6th grade, and I mean, his favorite thing is crowns, and he loves to draw, play and color and whatever with crowns. And another one, his favorite thing is Duck Dynasty and Psy. So they talk mainly about that all the time. And he just wants to know why he can't color. I want to color. I want to color. And still trying to make a name, knowing nothing's gonna change. Okay. Sorry, my husband's phone. But they, once again, they obviously have different learning abilities and disabilities, and I realize that, and it makes me feel for them as a person, and I'm really considering taking the non-traditional route and doing school, so maybe I can teach at ASD one day. I don't really want to do 4 years to get a bachelor's degree in education. Maybe do a master's in something and teach there. I think I would love that. I love working with the kids. But that's just me. Another sign, like I sign forget, and I see that they're all doing this for forget. So that's different and new to me. And as usual, it's not the official, like, I know it's down here and I always sign it here, but that's just a matter of choice. I have realized it is definitely hard when she's having the students read and they're finger spelling in their lap, looking down, and I just can't understand that when they're finger spelling downwards in their lap and looking down at the book and no eye contact whatsoever. And I know for a fact they're not retaining any of that because they're just spelling the words to you that they see. It doesn't mean they know what that word means. And the few words they do know what it means, then they'll sign it, and they'll actually look up and sign. So you realize, obviously, they knew that word, but they didn't know all of these words. And sometimes I feel like the teacher's smarter than I am because she's reading along as they're finger spelling and catching all the words, but then I realize it's because she has a book in front of her, so she's just reading it along with them, so of course she understands it. And in regards to both the reading and the books, she had the students take turns and read it, and basically that's what it was them finger spelling it downwards. And then she would read it, and I would sign it behind her and try to basically paint a picture for them what's actually happening so they can understand it, which I thought was way more helpful and beneficial for them compared to them just finger spelling to themselves. And nobody else was actually paying attention to what they were finger spelling anyways, because they're not actually signing it to the others in the class. They're just regurgitating letters they see on the paper. So that was really beneficial for me to get experience in trying to tell a story, and got a few helpful feedbacks from the one student with the bull and the acting like that. And then when she was she was chopping off the snakes' heads, and she got really into it. I loved watching her sign, because she had the facial expressions and all of that was there, which was pretty awesome. It was a good eye-opener for me, and then I would try to regurgitate that back and sign in that same manner. So it was more visual for her, which was helpful. We had presentations on Tuesday and Wednesday morning, and then on Wednesday morning Caitlin was actually there, and they made me basically copy sign the students when they were signing answers to the questions. So I sat up there with her and did that, and that was for 2 hours. That wasn't too bad because the students, once again, they're pretty much not interested, so they weren't signing a whole lot for me to copy sign. I did get a little warning. Well, the teachers got a warning, but I got a warning too, I guess. I felt bad. By Flint, because one of the teachers asked me if I would stand at the restroom with the girls while they were going to the bathrooms, and I was like, sure, because it didn't bother me any. But he saw me out there, and he goes, come here. And he's like, the teachers need to learn that they can't, you're not their aide, and you're not going to just, that's not your job. It's not your responsibility. And I was like, I understand that. And he explained to me, if it's one thing I volunteer, then okay, that's fine. But they don't need to just volunteer me, which they kind of did. But, I mean, it didn't bother me. But I'm learning. It's definitely a learning process in regards to interpreting. I've never actually taken any interpreting jobs, so it's all brand new to me. And I'm definitely learning. It's different. And Darlene has explained to me some of the things she's done in the art class, which were definitely different than what I was doing. Not altogether different, but different in the fact that she's just standing back and making sure the art teacher handles it all. And giving her a different perspective, because the first day she was there, she called me her aide, and Darlene didn't like that. And so she's basically changing her view. So I'm sure next week when I go, I'll see and hear about how Darlene was, and that's fine. I learned through Darlene and Eddie and us discussing about the interpreter's roles, and basically that it's okay, we're all human and we want to help. And so it's one thing if I volunteer to help in some regards, and it's another thing to provide the code of ethics and be strictly an interpreter there, and not overstep when I'm not needed to. I did voice one afternoon for a little boy who is basically hearing impaired, or maybe hard of hearing. I'm not sure his exact story, but he doesn't know signs yet, and so I voiced for him in their meeting about behavior. And that went alright, with the exception I got confused, and Darlene said she missed it too, but apparently one of the things is they're going to be making pizza, and I sat down on the floor next to the boy, so then I was competing with other students sitting in front of me. I was better off watching West Side when I was standing up, but I try to get closer to his ear not to distract everybody else in the room with my voicing. And then I had the visual distraction, so next time I know, make sure I'm at an eye level where I can actually see the signer. So I missed the word pizza, and I just saw him making things, and I was like, yeah, I don't know what he's saying here. But I learned afterwards what he was saying. And it made me feel better that I wasn't the only one that didn't catch it. I also interpreted for some consumers one of the days, and we went over to the school cafeteria. They're wanting to hang a quilt up about the alumni, so I interpreted for them whether it was going to be on the brick wall or cement wall, and I was of course asked what my opinion was, and I just explained to them, well, I haven't seen the quilt, so I don't know. So that was my way of basically not sharing my opinion. So that was helpful. I used that technique from what we learned in class, and obviously I hadn't seen the quilt, so really I couldn't give an opinion even if I wanted to. But they wanted to make sure that they had this lady's opinion, and they kept asking her over and over, okay, you're sure this is where you think it's better? And she explained, yes, I think it's going to look so much more beautiful on this wall compared to the other wall, and when people walk in, it'll be the first thing they see. And so anyways, that didn't go over too bad. It was pretty well handled, I think, my personal opinion. So I've learned several things, and I'm still growing as an interpreter, obviously. And next week I'll be back in the art class, and we'll see what she has to say about Darlene. I don't know. And it's definitely a challenge for the students that don't know signs. I don't know how they're going to make it through this school year. In regards to Wes's class, he pretty much signs the whole time, and he doesn't voice, so the ones that don't know any signs, yeah, they're watching and hopefully catching some signs, but we'll see where it goes. And then if it was, for example, their homework, I mean, he's not going to leave them out to dry. He told them, this is what your homework is, and la-di-da-di-da. The other teachers actually try to voice for everybody so they can, they'll hear it too, as well as watch the signs. Anyways, that's the end of week 3.